Good morning, you guys. It is February 26th, which for me means that my author finally releases another book. And, I've only had to wait 2 years because she has life and stuff going on. And maybe I finished her last book in 2 hours because, well, I read fast. So really, she should have gotten this book out much quicker. I'm just kidding. I love it when I have my new book coming out and I'm like, yes, it's finally the day. Again, things that get you excited as an adult. I hope you guys are having a good Wednesday morning. Remember, for those in the Smexy book, thing, Wednesdays are when Kindle new releases come out, so get your spice on. Anywho, I hope you all are doing well this morning. Good morning, Wolfram and Bond James and Tammy. And Wolfram for doing your Modly Mod stuff. As always, we missed you. And Kathy Stewart and Alice G, good morning. So our first story today is more information on the preppy Princeton murder suspect, Matthew Hurtgen, who allegedly set a cat on fire after unaliving his brother with a knife, with a knife and golf club. I think this is probably going to end up being one of the very much bigger cases. It has, a wealthy family, two very successful sports ball kind of guys, and two successful, very wealthy, kind of affluent people who unalived each other. And that it's gonna be a crazy trial. The preppy Princeton, New Jersey man who allegedly unalived his younger brother in the family's upscale apartment also set the family cat on fire. Okay, Lord Chippy. We do not mess with cats. As a person who is ruled over by 5 furry overlords, I say and his brother, but Mr. Fluffy will be avenged, allegedly in Minecraft. It was gruesome. It was way overboard. He even red rummed the cat, setting him on fire, a cop told the scene, or said of the scene. Now, police entered the Michelle Muse apartment complex, where the units fetch upwards of $2 million after Matthew Hurtgen called 911 to report a fire and a dead body inside the family's residence. Once inside, they saw Joseph's bloodied body along with the dead cat and quickly arrested Matthew, who is 31 and a former Wesleyan soccer player, charging him with murder. The brutality of the homicide, and in an Ivy League town, shocked most detectives, said a high-ranking New Jersey police source. Now, Joseph, 26, was a superstar soccer player, garnering numerous accolades beginning at Tom Rivers North High School and continuing to the University of Michigan, where he was a 3-time academic All-Big Ten before graduating in 2020. Now, the brothers came from a wealthy family who had moved from a $1.1 million home in Toms River to ritzy Princeton. It's incredibly tragic. Matthew Hurtgen came from what appeared to be a perfect all-American family. Well, now, if you're me and you study true crimeology, you know that when things appear to be the perfect all-American family, that's when the biggest shenanigans get. I mean, if you are a loud and Hillchuck Walbart hillbilly family, I mean, no one's really shocked when things devolve into Jerry Springer land. But when you're, a preppy family, people are all shocked. How about we just realize that even rich people can have problems and be just as hillbilly as the rest of us? No one could have predicted that something like this would happen. To have it end in such violence is shocking, and the loss of his brother Joseph is devastating, another high-ranking police source said. Now, authorities have charged Matthew with first-degree murder, weapons offenses, and cruelty to animals. If he is convicted, he faces up to 30 years to life in prison. Prosecutors say that Joseph's official cause of death will be determined pending results from an autopsy. Now, Matthew had posted a bizarre Facebook photo of himself with a $7.99 or $7 cat toy just one day before the rampage. The uncaptioned picture or image shows him sporting a far off stare with his eyes and a shaggy beard. So this must be this particular photo with a. Look, I've seen way too many weird people put way too much weird stuff on the internet. I mean, this is not alarming to me. He's not eating a Tide Pod. Well, if you woke up feeling a little lighter and, a little, happier today, well, Dalton has a new mayor. Now, what is going to happen to Tiffany Henyard? I'm hoping YouTube career. But that's selfish. So if she needs to take a little time off to be okay, then we'll be okay. This self-proclaimed super mayor is now a super loser. Dalton dictator Tiffany Henyard has suffered a landslide loss in Tuesday's Democratic primary after more than a year of seedy scandals, wild antics, and haughty remarks finally caught up with her at the ballot box. The under fire Illinois mayor finally ran into her kryptonite, voters in her own Chicago suburb who overwhelmingly picked village trustee Jason House as the Democratic nominee. With all precincts reporting, House notched nearly 88% of the vote, while Henyard gained around 12%, according to Cook County election results. I mean, at least she looked nice on the day. Look, she looked very beautiful on the day that she lost. Earlier Tuesday, Henyard confidently claimed that she would win easily, making it clear, "I see no competition," according to Fox 32. Hey, I feel like that when I'm like, I'm gonna put on my skinny jeans. I haven't been bad. And my confidence is sometimes not as rewarded as you would think. Come be part of making history once again, she crowed on Facebook. "I'm calling for my base. I'm calling for all the people that love the super mayor who say you support me. I need you to show up and show out," Henyard added, a request that apparently fell on deaf ears. Now, House, who was once an ally of Henyard, told CBS Chicago that he was ecstatic as he declared victory. "The voters have spoken, and they've spoken in a loud way," House said. "As I've said before, and I'll say it again, this does not represent Dalton. We had one rogue individual," he added in reference to Henyard. "Dalton is proud, and we're happy that we're ready to change the narrative." I believe it is about 100,000. I'm not sure. I haven't been very into the Tiffany Henyard case. I will say Nate the lawyer has done a lot on this, an actual justice warrior. They've really kept up with the case. If you want more details, I've kind of just looked at sort of the funny stuff, but I don't have the actual real details of how big the town is. Now, while Henyard told WGN following the results that the people had spoken, "God must have a different plan for me," she added, seemingly accepting her defeat. Now, leading up to the primary, the 41-year-old politician, who was first elected mayor in 2021, was dogged by an avalanche of damning accusations and sordid headlines that led to constituent fury. She faced accusations of overseeing off-the-rails spending, with Dalton Village government becoming a focus of an FBI probe last year. The mayor recently jumped into a raucous brawl at a town hall board meeting, in Thornton, where she serves as a supervisor, though she also lost the Democratic nomination for that position earlier this year. She has consistently defended herself against the stinging criticisms and accusations, calling it a smear campaign and blasting fake news. "I want to heal my community after this," the divisive character said online, before later arguing that there was voter suppression in the village because a polling place was moved. Henyard's entire slate of candidates also lost to candidates who ran with House, according to results. Now, residents and business owners rejoiced Tuesday night, including Lawrence Gardner, 57, who had alleged that Henyard had targeted his now shuttered trucking business because he didn't contribute to her campaign coffers. The Wicked Witch of the West is dead, and it's over. Now we have another 8 weeks to bury her. Okay, tell us how you really feel. He told the Post in a message, "It's just like I was reborn," he said of the results. Henyard's mayoral term will end in May. House is expected to face an independent candidate in April for the general election. Another vocal critic, Valeria Stubbs, was happy to see voters ready to move on. "She got the stuffing beat out of her," she said in a brief interview. "If I can do a backward hand flip right now, and I'm, 67 years old next month, I would definitely do it," Stubbs continued. "I praise God. That's all I have to say. Ding dong, the witch is God. Witch is gone, not God." But all right. Now, this one is international, and I do wonder if and how this is going to be charged, but it does look like this has finally been, the investigation at least has been done in part, and the wife of missionary Bo Schroyer has been formally charged with his death after an alleged murder plot with her lover. So this was a story that I had brought to you a while back, but we didn't, they hadn't really started the investigation. It was sort of alleged, but not really, confirmed. And good morning, Tammy. Excuse me. The wife of a U.S. missionary who was killed in a violent criminal attack in Africa last October has been formally charged as a co-author in the murder, his church announced. Now, Bo Schroyer, 44, from Detroit Lakes, Minnesota, was found stabbed to death in a vehicle on October 25th while on a missionary trip to Angola with his wife and their 5 kids. His wife, Jackie Schroyer, has been formally charged. The family's parish, Lakes Area Vineyard Church, announced on an update Monday. "It saddens me immensely to have to share with you that we were notified that Jackie has been formally charged as a co-author in the murder of her husband," lead pastor Troy M. Easton wrote. "The widow will remain in custody until her court date, which will likely occur within the next 6 months." Now, Bo, a former Detroit Lakes police officer, and his family moved to Angola in 2021 to be missionaries through the organization SIM. Now, the pastor said that the couple's 5 children will continue to be cared for by a close family, with support from both SIM and Area Lakes Vineyard Church. Now, Schroyer was previously described as the mastermind behind her husband's red rum by Angolan law enforcement when she was arrested in November of last year. Her alleged accomplices, Bernardo Isaacs Elias, 24, and 23-year-old Islano Muslinga Caillou, who is nicknamed Vin Diesel, were arrested shortly afterward. A third man, 22-year-old Gleson Guerrero Ramos, who was reportedly on the run and is wanted in connection with the murder. Angolan, so he's on the run, but he is still, they're looking for him, and it isn't sure whether he has actually been brought into custody. Local law enforcement has alleged that Schroyer was having an affair with Elias, who was a security guard at their home, and that she did not want to return to the United States when her husband's mission was coming to an end. There were strong suspicions of a romantic relationship between the person who ordered the crime and her accomplice, the couple's security guard at the residence. Manuel Haiwala, superintendent with the Criminal Investigation Service, told Angola press agency. He claimed that on the day of the murder, the suspect had rented a car and pretended to have a breakdown before Schroyer lured her husband to a spot in the woods. Now, Elias allegedly then asked Caillou to carry out the unaliving for $5,000 or $50,000. Now, the Schroyer family previously spoke to the Detroit Lakes Tribune about their trip to Angola, their move. They told the outlet that they were moving to a remote village with no electricity. Jackie said the family would be teaching the region's residents about Christianity and God's love, as you do as a missionary. But apparently she spread God's love in a totally different way that generally we as, well, missionaries don't tend to use, as, it's not specifically in the Bible. But I mean, you would get more people to church, so do with that what you will. Boobs for God. What in the name of Hades is this? I mean, just when I thought airplanes weren't, couldn't get even worse, they do. A married couple was forced to sit next to a woman's body after she had shuffled off this mortal coil. I mean, at least she wouldn't get mad if you poked your arm over the, oh gosh, what is it, the armrest. I mean, look at the silver lining. She's not going to snore. She's not going to ask you questions or try to have a conversation with you. I mean, as an introvert, I might want to sit in this particular section. Ma'am, you're going to be surrounded by corpses. Are they going to ask me to talk or be upset if I just wear my earbuds? Well, they're dead, ma'am. Okay, well then I'm sold. I'll stay there. I mean, honestly, I feel like I'd actually pay to be in that section. I'm not gonna lie. Or if they had a puppy section. If they had a puppy section, I'd be in that section. You know what? You want to make me go back to flying? You offer a puppy and kitten, section, and I will be there. A husband and wife say that they were forced to sit next to a woman's, deceased body for several hours after she had dropped dead on a 15-hour flight. Mitchell Ring and Jennifer Collin were en route from Melbourne, Australia to Doha, Qatar, when an unidentified female passenger suffered from a medical emergency in the aisle during the long-haul Qatari Airways flight. Unfortunately, the lady couldn't be saved, which was pretty heartbreaking to watch, Ring told the television show Tuesday. They tried to wheel her, up towards business class, but she was quite a large lady and they couldn't get her through the aisle. Please, dear Lord, let me defluffinate so that they don't have to say that this heifer was too big to get through the airline ports to go to first class. I have very weird, health expectations. I just want to be small enough that they don't have to, report in a news article like this heifer was too big to get through the openings. I'm going straight to Hades. The Australian couple who had two spare seats in their row said that the frustrated flight crew then asked them to shift over so they could prop the body alongside them. They said, "Could you please move over?" And I just said, "Yes, no problem." And then they placed the lady on the chair I was in. A shocking photo of the grim ordeal captured by Ring watching his TV as the woman's body just sat next to him. Ring claims that he spent 4 hours sitting next to the woman's blanket-covered body. When they finally landed, the couple who were flying to Italy said that the airline crew told them to remain in their seats while first responders came to retrieve the body. Well, yeah, that seems, like it would. I can't believe they told us to stay. Yes, they would get the medical emergency out first. That's not, I wouldn't be itching about that. That seems like normal standard protocol. You'd get, the person who had a medical emergency or was decomposing off the plane first. I'm not too upset about that. They apparently got their, undies in a wad about that. First and foremost, our thoughts were with the family of the passenger who sadly passed away on board our flight, said Qatar Air. We apologize for any inconvenience or distress this incident may have caused and are in the process of contacting passengers in line with our policies and procedures. Um, well, I get that they wanted the F out of there and they had a plane to catch, but I mean, or you could have just climbed over the seats. I mean, to be fair, I would probably just climb over the seat. Like, no, that's fine. I'm just going to gymnastics and parkour my way out of this. In, well, happy and sad news, and, you know, I put this up here just because, gosh darn it, a new mom having to face this. I know not everyone's a fan of Fox News, but this does seem like an incredible diagnosis to have to deal with as you are giving birth to your first child. So Kat Timpf reveals that she was diagnosed with breast cancer shortly before giving birth to her son. Fox News' Kat Timpf revealed Tuesday that she was diagnosed with breast cancer shortly before she gave birth to her first child last week. The regular on the late night show Gutfeld announced the news in a heartfelt social media post that quickly led to an outpouring of support. You know, last week I welcomed my first child into the world, she said on X. About 15 hours before I went into labor, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. Timpf explained in her post that the cancer was caught early, with her doctors telling her it's at stage 0, and they are confident that it almost certainly hasn't spread. Now, as I've explained to a few people I've managed to tell about it so far, don't freak out. It's just like a little bit of cancer, she said. Now, Timpf already said she was already stressed because she was more than a week past her due date and focused on delivering a healthy baby before she was told about the cancer diagnosis. As soon I sat and I listened as they told me what they thought the best course of action would be, and a double mastectomy was brought up as soon as possible, she went on as she sprinkled some humor into the post. I asked all the questions I could, including could I get a copy of my tumor ultrasound to put on the fridge next to the ultrasound of my baby. And finally, by the middle of the night, I was crawling around on the floor of my apartment in spontaneous labor before heading to the hospital to meet my baby, whom I'd learned at the time was a son. Now, Timpf is an author of 2 books and said that maternity leave over the next 3 months will be different now than she initially planned. Still, as I navigate new motherhood and new cancer, I'm learning to celebrate everything I can. I'm lucky that we found the cancer so early. I'm lucky to be my son's mom, Timpf, who welcomed the newborn with husband Cameron Frizza. I mean, I know I'm biased, but this little dude actually rules. And not just because he might have saved my life. Thank you for all your support and laughter and love as I've embraced this wildly unexpected chapter, she continued. Here's to resilience, to miracles in the midst of chaos, and finding humor and hope even on the toughest days. Fox News colleagues and others shared well wishes across social media, including Greg Gutfeld, who tweeted, "We're all here for you, Kat. And you're amazing in every way. You're heroic to give labor, given the day you've just had. I love you," said host Lisa Kennedy Montgomery. So again, whether you like her news or not, honestly, she's a new mom and she just got told that she has a scary, diagnosis. And that's a lot to take in right here. And absolutely, JKD Buck is right. F cancer, just ridiculous. And I get that, she works at this point, it's a human thing, and she's a new mama, and I say this is scary for her, and we're going to give her support. I don't care what politics she has. She's a mama, and she just learned something scary. Now, Island Boys. Now, you are going to be shocked to realize that I didn't really know that this person was a real person. And what I mean by that is I had never even seen a picture of this gentleman, so I didn't know the Island Boys. I know you're shocked. But Island Boys Frankie Vengas was arrested 3 years after a SWAT team raid for murder suspect. So, like I said, I know you're going to be shocked, but not exactly my genre of music. So I don't know who this person is. Controversial hip-hop star Frankie Vengas, one half of the rap duo Island Boys, has added 2 new crimes to his infamous record. The rapper recently found himself behind bars for allegedly breaking the law with gun and drug violations. Now, Frankie is no stranger to posing for mugshots and now has 3 unique pictures capturing his time in police custody. Well, I mean, I'm sure those going in his baby book. Now, Island Boys' twin brothers Alex and Frankie Vengas rose to fame as TikTok influencers in 2021 with their viral hit song, I'm an Island Boy. However, fame did not stop their troubles with the law, as Frankie's recent arrest comes 3 years after a SWAT team raid at the duo's Florida home in search of a murder suspect. I mean, okie dokie. Now, according to news reports, Frankie was booked into the Collier County Jail in Naples after getting arrested for alleged gun and drug offenses. He was charged with possession of a controlled substance without a prescription and to deliver, possess, or sell an altered firearm. A detailed report about his encounter with law has not been revealed. However, TMZ obtained Frankie's most recent mugshot. The picture captured the rapper with his signature tattoos all over his face. Additionally, he rocked out the unique Wicks hairstyle signature to the Island Boys and flaunted his lavish grill. What am I supposed to do with... Also, does he have bangs along with the spike hair? Okay, we need to go... Why does he have a white line? I don't understand what's going on here, and I'm not trying to be stupid, but okay, you know what? Sure, why not? Just, scribble all over your face and have, spiky hair. A year before, Frankie was booked on a driving-related offense in Florida, and he was apprehended by authorities for allegedly laying hands on his girlfriend, pushing her into a pool at their Airbnb in Pompeo Beach. Oh. Thank you, Eddie Irene. I was wondering why you would put your... Because I've seen edges done where there's the swirl, and I think those look beautiful, but I've never seen them just straight down, just like a sort of a crown around your face. I did not know that. There you go. Thank you, Eddie. As I said, as a person who deeply dives into Phil Collins and Counting Crows, this is not my jam of music. Nothing against it, just not my jam. At the time, Frankie's lover told cops that he assaulted her after she threatened to break up with him for his laying hands on her. Yeah, okay. Following the altercation, she was taken to the local hospital and treated for injuries to her chin, legs, and arms. Frankie was initially booked for battery, but the case was later dismissed. Now, unlike his 2024 and 2025 mugshots, the rapper did not flaunt his grills for the camera, nor did he rock his wick hairstyle. The battery incident came a year after Frankie and his twin brothers made waves for a SWAT raid. In 2022, the blast covered the dramatic search for a murder suspect within the Island Boys' Florida home. Palm Beach County Sheriff's Department descended on Frankie and Alex's rental property with a search warrant for a man named Andrew James Thomas. The suspect faced first-degree red rum with firearm charges after an 8-year-old girl was taken during a drive-by shooting. Further investigations revealed that Thomas was a childhood friend of the rap duo and might have been hiding in their home, hence the raid. Now, authorities were right on the money as SWAT team members found Thomas hiding in Alex and Frankie's home. However, the brothers denied intentionally covering for him. They claimed to not know about his crimes when he sought refuge at their home a few nights before the raid. Yeah, I mean, look, when my friends are suspected of red rum, they come to my house mostly because they dude, they went to your house because they figured the cops would see all the face tattoos and assume you two were the bad guys. Possibly. Also, can you imagine these two at a nursing home one day? Wow, nursing homes of the future are going to be wild. Now, according to the police report, Frankie's twin did not withhold information from the cops during the raid. He recalled that the suspect ran toward him in the hallway of the house carrying a black force multiplier with an extended magazine. The encounter allegedly occurred after SWAT team members entered the premises. Now, additionally, Alex told officers that Thomas ran into the laundry room with the weapon but returned without it, and thanks to his information, cops found the weapon inside the laundry room closet, and the suspect was taken into custody on several charges relating to the drive-by shooting. Frankie and Alex's manager further reiterated their innocence in a statement saying, "We had no idea any of this was going on, really. We just knew him as a quiet kid. He would come hang out and do his thing and go back to doing whatever he was going to do. We had no clue about any of these allegations." But they're not only, aiders and abettors, they've actually done a few of their own felonies. Isn't that sweet? It's like, we not only shaked, we helped. It's shake and bake and I helped. It's misdemeanors and felonies and I did it my own self. According to the duo's manager, Alex cried after discovering Thomas's crimes. He noted that the brothers would have never opened the door to the murder suspect if they knew he had been running from the police. Nonetheless, Frankie and his twin are no strangers to being on the wrong side of the law. The brothers once opened up about their dark childhood, revealing they did not street legal pharmaceuticals as teenagers. Yeah, those face tattoos, you stopped when you were teens. So you're telling me you were sober when we got all of this jazz done? Okie dokie. The brothers, including using things to having up to the point of having to be hospitalized 3 times. Additionally, they have racked up charges of burglary, robbery, grand theft auto, and more. So there you go. Well, I mean, possibly don't have really noticeable face tattoos if you're gonna crime. I don't know what to learn here. Or if you're going to crime, be a famous rapper. I don't know. In interesting news, at least big legal news, the U.S. Supreme Court has granted Oklahoma death row inmate Glossip a new trial. So this has been a case that I have, given you guys information that it was moving to the Supreme Court. It looks like the Supreme Court has said, you guys need to give him a new trial. There were too much shenanigans. The U.S. Supreme Court threw out Oklahoma death row inmate Richard Glossip's conviction for a 1997 murder-for-hire plot and granted him a new trial, concluding on Tuesday that prosecutors violated their constitutional duty to correct false testimony by their star witness. The justices, in a 5-3 ruling, authored by liberal Justice Sonia Sotomayor, reversed a lower court's decision that upheld Glossip's conviction and had allowed his planned execution to move forward despite his claim that prosecutors wrongly withheld evidence that could help his defense. It is a young shizzy. Don Knight, an attorney for Glossip, called the ruling a victory for justice and fairness in our judicial system. We're thankful that a clear majority of the court supports long-standing precedent that prosecutors cannot hide critical evidence from defense lawyers and cannot stand by while their witnesses knowingly lie to the jury. Rich Glossop, who has maintained his innocence for 27 years, is now being given a chance to have a fair trial that he was always denied, Knight added. Now, during the October 9th arguments in the case, the justices probed whether an Oklahoma court properly weighed newly revealed information that Glossop's lawyers said would have aided his defense, and which the state's Republican Attorney General, Gunter Drummond, called wrongly withheld by prosecutors. Drummond's, supported Glossop's appeal. Glossop's lawyers asked the justices to throw out his conviction and grant him a new trial after the Oklahoma Court of Criminal Appeals upheld his death sentence despite potentially exculpatory evidence being found in an independent investigation ordered by Drummond. Now, Drummond said on Tuesday that deciding how to proceed in the case, his office will determine the most appropriate course of action to ensure that justice is secured for all involved. And Kathy Mitchell, thank you for your membership, and thank you for gifting 5 memberships. And those went to Edie, Irene, P. Lola's mom, Floofy Cat, Danielle, and Linda Early. Sorry. Today is not great for English for some reason for me. So let me get those written out. And congratulations, welcome to the Church of Mo. We have dark chocolate, sarcasm, and chocolate chip cookies sometimes, if I didn't eat them all. Floofy Cat, I like that name. I got brand new pens and it's so much easier to write. I have a pen addiction. It must be stopped. In my defense, though, I can't find any of my pens because they're all boxed up. So thank you so much. They're going into the swear jar. Oh, just put that over here. He really does look like a young Shizzy. It's but Glossop is 62, so this must have been taken. So this was taken in 2016. Let's see here. Glossop, now 62, was convicted of the commissioning the murder of Barry Van Tressie, owner of the Best Budget Inn motel in Oklahoma City, where Glossop was a manager. All parties agree that Van Tressie was fatally beaten with a baseball bat by a maintenance worker named Justin Sneed, who eventually became the star witness for the prosecution. Now, Sneed, who was a crystal addict, confessed to the murder but avoided capital punishment by accepting a plea deal that involved testifying that Glossop had paid him $10,000 to do it. Now, Glossop admitted to helping Sneed cover up the murder after it occurred, but denied knowing that Sneed had planned to kill Von Tress or encouraging him to do so. The evidence disclosed in 2023 by Drummond, including a prosecutor's handwritten notes from a meeting with Sneed, cast doubt on Sneed's credibility, according to Glossop's lawyers. They said they were kept in the dark about Sneed receiving psychiatric treatment for bipolar disorder immediately after his arrest, and that prosecutors failed to correct Sneed's false statement about his prescription for lithium. Now, Sotomayor was joined in the decision by the court's 2 other liberal members, as well as by conservative justices John Roberts and Brett Kavanaugh. Sotomayor emphasized that Sneed's testimony had been indispensable to prosecutors, noting that no other witness or physical evidence established that Glossop orchestrated Van Tress's murder. Thus, the jury could convict Glossop only if they believed Sneed, Sotomayor wrote. Now, Sotomayor cited the court's 1959 decision in a case called Naup versus Illinois, which held that a conviction secured through the knowing use of false evidence violates the U.S. Constitution's 14th Amendment provision protecting the right to due process. We conclude that the prosecution's failure to correct Sneed's trial testimony violated the Due Process Clause, Sotomayor wrote. Justice Clarence Thomas, in a 44-page dissent, joined by fellow conservative Justice Samuel Alito, accused the court's majority of stretching the law at at every turn to rule in favor of Glossop. Thomas called Snead's testimony about his medical condition patently immaterial. Conservative Justice Amy Coney Barrett, in partial dissent, said the court was wrong to set aside Glossop's conviction and instead should have returned the case to a lower court for further proceedings. Drummond became an unlikely ally of Glossop in the case. Although Drummond has previously said he believed Glossop's role in covering up the Van Tress murder made him at least an accessory after the fact, justifying a long prison sentence, his murder conviction was too flawed to defend. I've long maintained that I do not believe that Mr. Glossop is innocent, but it is now undeniable as a fact that he did not receive a fair trial, Drummond said after Tuesday's ruling. Justice Neil Gorsuch did not participate in the case, apparently because he had dealt with the matter while serving in a lower court. And welcome, Shizzy Raiders. The Supreme Court in 2023 halted Glossop's scheduled execution while his appeal was processed. So this is interesting. This does play into several cases that we are looking at right now where there is a deep feeling that people on the witness stand brought by the state may have not been telling the truth. Think Karen Reed, think Delphi. So if this case is getting, this ruling that says if prosecutors know that these things are false, it's going to get overturned. It is interesting. Well, looks like our favorite weirdo shirtless anti-aging mogul is preemptively telling us that the New York Times is going to write a hit piece about him, with hookers and blackjack. Or that's Bender. I don't know. But apparently he is saying that there is going to be some shenanigans coming out about him. Now, considering the man never wears a shirt, I don't know where his secrets lie. Also, when you're veiny on your abdomen, that's not right. Ew. Also, if you're going to be shirtless, get a tan. Like, I am pale as hell too, but you don't see me walking around shirtless. Well, it's also illegal, but, I don't want to attract, moths and stuff either. Also, if I'm going to be a lighthouse and wear a crop top, then, I'd like to get paid for it. Anti-aging tech mogul Brian Johnson accused the New York Times of preparing to publish a hit piece about him that includes salacious allegations about procuring ladies of the night using not street legal pharmaceuticals and forcing employees to sign non-disclosure agreements. The 47-year-old centimillionaire who spends around $2 million annually to achieve the body of an 18-year-old. That 18-year-old's had a rough life. Always shirtless. Posted a lengthy thread on his X account Monday that began with him writing, "The New York Times is preparing to publish a hit piece on me." According to Johnson, a Times reporter reached out to him with what he called fact-checking questions before publication of a story about Brian Johnson and his weaponization of non-disclosure agreements over the years to cover a range of bad behavior. Now, Johnson, who is best known for his Blueprint project, a radical anti-aging experiment where he spends millions of dollars annually in an attempt to slow or reverse aging, accused the Gray Lady of reviving accusations from an ex-fiancé that were twice rejected by 2 legal forums and repackaging them for clicks. The anti-aging mogul, who made his fortune after selling his payment processing company Braintree to PayPal for $800 million in cash in 2013, was likely referencing a 2021 lawsuit filed in Los Angeles Superior Court by television actress Taryn Southern. In the suit, Southern alleged Johnson was a serial cheater who dumped her while she was undergoing breast cancer treatments. Southern also alleged that Johnson had flings with more than a dozen women during their relationship, paid for ladies of the night, pursued women through sugar daddy apps, and everything else. Now, I mean, maybe this is revenge on the guy that got away, but he looks kind of weird. Like you dodged a bullet. You look like he looks like he never eats a hot pocket. I mean, so holy, what in the name of all that is Hades in a handbasket? How much blood is she drawing? Is he going to have any left? Y'all, I am verklempt about the amount of tubettes he has there. Holy giblets in a handbasket. This man is crazy. Look, it's one thing to not want to look old. It's another thing to actively fight Father Time when you're not going to win. But, if this is what it takes to stay young, I'm going to age like Sophia from the Golden Girls. I'm going to be short and sassy and old and, tell everyone exactly what the hell I think. I mean, that's the one good thing about being old. People just look at you like, oh, she's a sweet lady. She's just full of piss and vinegar. And I'm like, no, I'm just mean and I want to tell the truth, you know? So I'm just saying, I want to be old, so I get that. I get to wear a bedazzled, windsuit and everyone thinks I look sassy instead of weird. So I'm cool with getting old. I don't know what the big issue is. Now, I did not know that apparently the feds have arrested a mastermind behind basketball gambling scheme worth millions of dollars. I mean, I guess betting is a big thing now. The feds have arrested the alleged mastermind behind a massive point-shaving scandal worth millions of dollars in illicit profits, federal documents reveal. In the midst of an ongoing investigation that began with exiled NBA journeyman Jonte Porter, federal agents have identified Shane Hennon as the alleged architect, Sports Illustrated first reported. Now, authorities say that Hennon orchestrated perhaps the largest point-shaving scandal in American history, which may have included Heat guard Terry Rozier and at least 9 college games spanning the last 2 years. Well, he does look like a Bond villain, so, he just needs a white cat. Hennon has not yet been charged as he negotiates a plea deal that could shed more light on the bombshell betting scheme that compromised the integrity of both college and professional games. He will eventually be charged with wire fraud, conspiracy, and money laundering, the document says. Now, Hennon was arrested in January at the Las Vegas airport, where he was said to be preparing to fly from Vegas to Colombia for dental work. Yes, I always summer in Colombia to get dental work and Colombian food. The Justice Department further alleges that Hennon and 5 co-conspirators in the scheme involving Porter, who manipulated his own performance by pulling himself out of games so that under bets on his player props would win while with the Raptors during the 2023-24 season. Now, Porter pled guilty in the game rigging scandal and is out of the NBA. The proof of his guilt is overwhelming, the U.S. Attorney's Office letter states, adding that the evidence includes witnesses, phone records, financial records, and betting records. Now, Rozier is also under investigation amid a look at unusual betting activity. His case is tied to Porter's. The NBA, however, said it looked into the matter and did not find a violation. Now, Rozier has not been charged with a crime. In March 2023, the NBA was alerted to unusual betting activity related to Terry Rozier's performance in a game between Charlotte and New Orleans. The league conducted an investigation and did not find a violation of NBA rules. We are now aware that an investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office for the Eastern District of New York related to this matter has been opened, and we are cooperating with that investigation. So there you go. Don't shave points. Don't add points. Maybe don't gamble on sports ball. because I don't understand what point shaving is, but it's bad, okay? Like Mr. Mackey, it's bad, okay? You know, rigging games is bad. It's bad. We want to play. We want to have good sportsmanship here, okay? Okay. Like I said, it's not my it's not my jam. I don't quite get it, but I don't want people to point. That's what I figured it was. The island boys are going to be bald. Point shaving is happening. In a hilarious story, I met my hubby in the toilet paper aisle, so I got this potty related tattoo to celebrate our love. Well, nothing says love like a tattoo of a shitter. I love you this much. Mom of two says she met the love of her life in the toilet roll aisle at Tesco, and she's commemorated it with a golden toilet roll tattoo. Oh, oh my gosh, UK, you have hillbillies too? Oh my gosh. I am in love. This is such a rural Indiana thing to do. I feel seen as a hill chuck. I do feel seen. Like, where did y'all meet? Next to the Charmin. I asked if he was strong and squishable too, and came in a family pack. What am I reading here? Shannon Killis, 57, was the supervisor of her husband, engineer Jeffrey, 63, on the checkout at Tesco in Enfield, North London, back in 1986. She just applied to study for a social care certificate at Enfield College, while Jeff had recently settled down in the area, and Shannon wanted to finish her course before going out with him. But on June 13th, 1986, the pair went on their first dates, drinks and pizza, and they've been together ever since. Aw, okay, now that's sweet. They've been together ever. Is that a dress? Okay, that's a dress. Never. I was trying to figure out. And Sharon even got a tattoo of a toilet roll surrounded by butterflies on her left leg for her 40th birthday back in 2008. Shannon, who is out of work due to disability from Enfield, North London, said, "I was Jeff's boss at Tesco, and now we've been together for 39 lovely years. We love each other, we pick on each other. It hasn't been easy, particularly when football's on. But I wouldn't change it for the world. I've got a toilet paper roll on my leg for a reason." Sharon was 19 when she was working at Tesco back in April of 1986. And apparently they met at the, toilet, aisle. And I mean, who wouldn't want a toilet paper tattoo? Honestly, it doesn't look like a toilet paper roll all that much. So I think you get away with it just looking like an abstract design. Not sure I'd want a toilet paper roll on my leg unless it got me free toilet paper. I mean, as a mom of 8, with the amount of toilet paper we go through, I would get a toilet paper roll tattoo if I got free toilet paper. It'd be small, it'd be discreet. I'd add Sailor Moon to it later, but I mean, if I got free toilet paper, I'm down. Alleged Wall Street brothel that advertises threesomes nabbed in an undercover NYPD sting, but the spot claims a swinger mix-up. Look, this is not, this is not a brothel. We're just swingers. We're just pervs, Your Honor. We're not prostitutes. I mean, as a defense, it does kind of work. I say go for it. The city is looking to shut down an alleged brothel that shamelessly advertises to Wall Street executives in the financial district and operates above a popular police bar. You put your swingers club on top of a police bar? I mean, this is either a great reality show or just hilarious. The city filed a lawsuit Monday to close the club, which advertises itself as Temptations, New York City. Well, a lot of them. Listen, they have a bunch of stuff, and then I go to Yahoo, and then I go to Law and Crime, and then I go to UPI, and then a bunch of other stuff. All right, let's see. So it advertises itself as Temptations New York City and celebrates its status as catering to threesomes and cuckold fantasies. I mean, because who hasn't wanted to go to New York City to to investigate, well, when I saw Swinger, I had to do this. Its website was taken down shortly after the suit was filed in Manhattan Supreme Court, as the operator of the spot called the allegations of naughty behavior a misunderstanding about the swinger lifestyle. Like I said, we're not prostitutes. We're just pervs. Undercover officers purchased illegal alcohol, lap dances, and were offered a price for, smexy times, the city claims. Businesses allowing, the sale of both illegal stuff and, the smexy times should be on notice that New York is going to take aggressive legal action. We're seeking a closing order from this court to put an immediate stop to these illegal activities, which erode the quality of life of our communities. But the venue's operator said that the Swingers Club was being rented out to a promoter for a photo shoot and foot fetish event. I mean, don't take away the foot fetish event. In the days of the supposed undercover stings, it wasn't us, it was the weird foot people. The operator, who gave his name as Johnny, compared the situation to someone renting a VFW hall that doesn't have a liquor license. It's no different than renting out your local VFW hall for your grandma's, 50th anniversary. We don't sell alcohol, and there's no, selling for fun times. That is not part of the swinger lifestyle, as you know. Just 4 floors below is a police-themed bar, Whiskey Blue, popular with various law enforcement officers. The legal action is filed against unknown operators of the brothel Speakeasy and landlord CYP Enterprise LLC, which the city said had a duty to ensure that its property was free of criminal activity. CYP was not reached for comment, and Temptations NYC and Sister Club Astoria did not respond to messages. The Temptations NYC Instagram page is littered with raunchy posts, including a promotion for a 2023 Summer Humpin' and Bust-a-Nut midweek play party. I mean, swinger's gonna swing. But apparently you can't pay for it. Now, I mean, don't take a black light into this place. Just don't take a black light in here. 'Cause I don't think you're going to be too happy if you take a black light. Someone bring in the Purell. Oh. Well, I mean, here is the owner. Make of that what you will. It's never the boobs you want to see, guys. Never the boobs. In a amazingly ridiculous note, I will say that I don't understand Bitcoin, so I don't know how they used internet magic to steal a bunch of Bitcoins, but it looks like North Korea has stolen $1.5 billion in Bitcoin as it pulled off the biggest heist ever. Now, I don't know how one does a Bitcoin heist, but there you go. State-backed North Korean hackers have stolen 1.5 billion or 1.2 billion in cryptocurrency in the largest heist in history. Agents from Pyongyang were given or were able to breach the systems of Dubai-based exchange Bybit to steal the digital coin Ether, according to security analysis. Now, the hackers stole more cryptocurrency in one attack than all the funds stolen by North Korean cyber criminals in 2024, when the rogue state's cyber attackers made off with about $1.3 billion in digital coins, according to cryptocurrency analyst Chain Analysis. The 1.5 billion total eclipse is the largest known bank theft of all time, when Saddam Hussein stole $1 billion from the Iraqi central bank ahead of the Iraq War in 2003. Now, the record haul comes as Kim Jong-un, North Korea's supreme leader, turns to an elite unit of computer hackers to prop up the communist dictatorship's failing economy. But here you go. So I will say that, look, can you hack them back? I mean, look, I don't know computer magic, but can we hack them back and then get it all back? I mean, kids these days are never off their computers. We have to have some hacker somewhere. Oh, no, that wasn't what I was doing. Where is that one? There we go. An Omaha's graduate, his lost ring turns up in a Missouri garden 44 years later. A Missouri man tending to his garden found a high school class ring from Nebraska that turned out to have been missing since around 1981. Neil Lansdowne said he was working in his garden near Rockport when he spotted something glistening in the dirt. He cleaned the object and discovered it was an Omaha Northwest high school class ring from 1978 with the name Carrie Crocker inscribed inside. He cleaned Lanston said he was fascinated by how the ring came to be in his garden about 70 miles south of Omaha. I didn't want a reward, I just wanted the satisfaction of knowing where he'd lost it and giving him back his ring. Omaha Northwest Foundation sparked a search for Crocker on social media, but the efforts of online sleuths failed to turn up any solid leads until Crocker spotted his ring on a news report. Crocker, who now lives in Florida, said he believes that the ring went missing around 1981. I have no clue how it got away from me, he said. I either lost it or misplaced it or someone stole it. I don't know. Crocker said he had never been to Rockport, but his family did run an Omaha flower shop around the time he lost the ring, so it might have ended up in soil that eventually made its way to Lansdowne's garden. We sold potted plants and all that for many years, so I'd be down there from time to time to work, so I could have, he was probably potting plants and his ring fell off. Which, as someone whose hands regularly swell and then unswell, it is hard when you have your ring made for a larger size because your hand swells and then they go back to skinny for one day and you're like, daggone it. Robo-dogs. I love my pup too, but I am just not going to give my dog a robo-dog. For our final story, doggy wellness, not so far-fetched. Pet parents are saying heal in brand new ways thanks to new technology and wellness innovations that treat Fido more like a human. I want my dog to not only live long, but I want them to live long and well, which is very different than a past mindset. Maddie Guy, co-founder of a pet supplement brand, Buddy, told the Post, "The modern dog owner mentality has shifted, which is great news for dogs." But that might not be the best news for parents, especially now spending hundreds on specialty items like CBD oil, supplements, AI wearable tech to communicate with them, and all sorts of other gizmos that are the new to be stuff. Dr. Danielle Brennell, a veterinarian at Wellness Pet Company, told the Post that pets' physical well-being and keeping them fit, healthy, and active has always been a priority, but now it's going into overdrive. As we've seen the evolution from our pets go from he's just a dog who lives outside to now truly part of, our family, we not only want to be proactive in their physical well-being, but we also want to really support their mental and emotional well-being, she said. Similar to wellness fads in the human world, the trend is now being shaped by younger generations who view pets as members of the family. The shift has placed more emphasis on pet owners providing their pets premium care that resembles their own wellness preferences. Kate Ontoro, a pet trends expert at O. Norman, told the Post, younger pet parents are interested in natural science-backed wellness products and want that kind of holistic care for their pets. Now, y'all, I love Friberto. I loved him. But he liked to eat cat turds, okay? So I get wanting them to be super healthy and have, organic food. But Friberto also liked to eat cat poo. So maybe don't go crazy with the whole thing. Make sure your pets are taken care of, but maybe they don't need filet mignon. I'm just throwing that out there. However, if you would like to buy your pet filet mignon, that is up to you. It's a free country. But Bernal, who has been a veterinarian for 25 years and in pet wellness for 20, advises always to consult your, vet before you make any decisions about, doing any supplements or things like that. Because there are certain things that might not be regulated as well. Water, you're waiting for some youngsters lug around their massive Stanley water bottles. Pet Cube touts itself as the only way to keep canines and felines hydrated with a human-grade water fountain, only $99. I mean, we've got one of those that was about $30. It's not bougie. It's not Wi-Fi or wireless, but an automatic dog door? That's pretty fancy. How much is it? And it doesn't list the price. I'm not shocked. Because they have okay, that's a little crazy. All right, if you want to have a really bougie pet door, there you are. You can get your dog a tablet. Okay, I give up. I give up. And now you have a dog translator? I give up. You know what Fry would say? Please feed me what you're having in the trash. I don't want my dog food. I would like the trash food. Also, keep the toilet open so I can drink. And I'd really like to take a bite out of the cat. Look, I love my animals, and my cats are in charge of me much more than, I'm in charge of them. Oh my gosh, they've got a walker, a step counter for your pet. Actually, Thor might need one of those. He's getting a little fluff donkulous. I will say that that's pretty cool. It really is. I don't know what. If you have the money, I will tell you guys, no lie, I don't have a grooming pod for cats because that seems actually for Dingus that might actually be a good idea because Dingus does not like to get groomed. So, and he's all enclosed, which means I won't get, murderlated by his, danger floof. But if you want to, feed your pups the best, thing that they have and all of that jazz, then go for it. Just let's not go crazy, okay? Can we just find a happy medium, America? Could we do that? Like the entire world, could we find a happy medium? Could we, fight the urge to go crazy extremes and just find a happy medium? That being said, Dingus always thinks he deserves the first bite of every meal I have. So, maybe we all just, it's a cat's world and we all just live here. It's a pet's world and we all just live here. So I will see you guys in a little bit. Remember, the Petty Express is running this morning. We still have a bit of day 2 to go through from yesterday in the Germain Bass case. Do want to warn you, it does look like we are going to be getting into the medical examiner and more forensic stuff. So, do be aware of that. But we're the Petty Express. We'll be there for each other with dark humor and sarcasm. And I am going to go tackle some clothes, laundry, and other chores, and then I'll be back here to hang out with you guys. So I will see you soon. Bye, you guys.